everyone. Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and hello everyone. So today we are going to be doing the Filibuster Boondoggler whiskey. This is a whiskey or distillery we've done once before, their regular bourbon.
Yep.
And I know you have a couple bottles of...
Two storage packs from Laverne Beverage Depot.
Okay.
The Cracker Jack and another one.
Right. And you have a single estate
Just a regular one.
Wasn't there a regular one that was a higher proof, though? I thought there was two different ones.
I've got three bottles. One was just the regular one.
Oh, okay.
And the other two are store. They're all from the same store.
Right, yeah.
So two of them are store picks.
Okay. The Boondoggler. And it's whiskey, not bourbon, not rye. It's whiskey. The reason why is it is a blend of a couple different types of whiskey. So it probably doesn't qualify, or they just don't feel like going through the process of actually trying to get it classified, like measuring exactly what it is, because the history here is it's related to the master distiller. The master distiller for Filibuster had been blending a couple different barrels, finishing them in a whole bunch of different things, and basically using that as his own whiskey.
For his own enjoyment.
His own enjoyment, his own little fun. Somebody got a hold of it and was just like, that tastes pretty good. You should probably think about bottling that. So they did. So we don't know if it's, percentage of, bourbon versus rye versus whatever. I think at this point, or at least at the point they started, it was MGP whiskey. They were sourcing it. They did start blending in some of their own whiskey at some point. I'm not really sure. Can't remember when it was. And then ultimately, that's their goal, is to do all their own. They were located in D.C., just outside the capital, hence the name, Filibuster. But they moved out to...
the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah,
Just
out in
20
Virginia.
minutes south of Winchester, Virginia. This is Marertown, Virginia.
Okay.
Which I know we have family that live in Winchester, so it's about 20 minutes away.
Right outside of there.
Yep.
So, like I said, they do a finishing.
And it's a woman
and minority-owned distillery, which is kind of an interesting, you don't really get too much of that. So this whiskey is finished in new American oak, red and white wine seasoned French oak, which apparently seasoned just means that they put some in the barrel, kind of let it sit there for a little while, maybe up to a week, and just kind of get a little bit into it. And then Fino, which I've never even heard of, and Pedro Ximenez Sherry casks.
Very familiar with that with this.
Yeah, the Pedro, the PX definitely shows up a lot. So it's finished in a whole bunch of different things. And like I said, they probably just didn't want to go through the rules. So they just called it a whiskey instead of trying to figure it out.
Probably a safe bet, much easier.
It's probably a lot easier to not try to be that specific. Little fruit.
A little ethanol too.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ethanol nose on that. That's it's 90 proof. Again, we don't know a mash bill. The website says that it's about 3 years, up to 3-year-old whiskey. Okay. Yeah, the fruit notes are what comes out a little bit more versus like brown sugar, vanillas, caramels. It's way more fruit notes.
It's very, very rye.
Really? Spicy?
No, you get the flavor, but I didn't find it terribly spicy. I actually found it pretty smooth.
Oh, it's that herbally little spice, some sweet notes. But the sweet notes are more fruit to me. I get more fruit sweet notes, like dried fruit.
Okay.
And you would think with the sherry, normally you get either a grape or
like
an apple
black
or
cherry or
okay.
Something like that.
I can see that. Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
It's good. It's funny. We've always talked about how oak makes your tongue dry out. It's making me
thirsty.
Salivate a little bit. Like, it's really odd. There's something coming off of this that's kind of funny. Now, I will say the funny part on their website, this is one where it actually says, best enjoyed as in a cocktail.
Interesting.
And I could see some of these sweet notes working in a cocktail, But I don't think it's horrible. On the back of the bottle, it does say neat or in a cocktail. But on the website, it actually says best enjoyed as a base to a cocktail.
Do they have any recipes?
I don't remember. I don't remember the answer to that one. The nose is nowhere near as like it's like a what was the bubble gum with the juicy center? It's got that, like it bursts as soon as you take take a sip of it. There's a burst of all these fruity flavors.
I remember that gum as a kid.
But there's not a good like the nose is kind of muted a little bit. It's a little.
It's muted, but really all I get now when I go back to it is all I get is rye.
Yeah, a little herbal, slight spice, rye note. But the palate is really crazy. Sweet.
Well, the sweetness, I mean, that would be good for a Manhattan.
Yeah.
With some sweet vermouth.
And I mean, it's got a decent spice, 90 proof.
Pick your favorite cherry.
Yeah. That's an interesting whiskey. All right. There's some drops of waters in here.
I'm going to go, it's going to get a little hotter.
I'm hoping maybe there's an oil that opens up some more of the fruity notes versus the rye or ethanol notes, but yeah, there's hopes and dreams. That didn't change much at all.
Nope.
That smells exactly the same. Little dried fruit, like the herbal rye spice combo.
A little hotter in the back on the finish.
The spice hits the back of the throat just
I'm a little warm right here now.
I'm not getting the warmth in the chest. The spice hits the back of the throat. Totally agree with that one. No question about that one. And it did lose some of the fruity notes actually kind of mute down a little bit.
Yeah,
the spice is a little bit.
For me, this is just
it's a little more tingly.
True rye.
Yeah. Way more rye forward.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting a lot more fruit notes, which the water kind of buried instead of opened up. Slightly disappointing.
I've enjoyed, I mean, the 3 bottles I've had from, actually I've had 4. Just 2 regular bottles and those 2 store picks. But that second store pick that they entitled Cracker Jack, I mean.
Caramel and peanut and popcorn.
It has that, yes. They hit the nail on the head on that one.
This one, I don't know. This one's a little funny.
To their point, it might be better in a cocktail. It's not bad by itself.
No, it's not horrible, but neat. And it's not a bad price. $35. Gotcha. So $35, all right, a maybe 3-ish year old whiskey, 90 proof. It's got a solid profile. So I mean, it's not a bad value by any means.
Pretty light too.
Up to 3 years. So yeah, it is a little light. It's not spending all its time in new charred oak. It's spending it a little. There's some, other barrels in there, so that might be part of it. I also wonder what the difference is in aging in Virginia versus like a Kentucky. Their winters, I mean, they're almost on the same, latitude. So
I would imagine they're similar, but I would say Kentucky the summers might be a touch longer.
Because they're a little bit more elevated, right? In Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah.
Even though it says valley, but it's kind of up in the mountains. Yeah, I grabbed this, I think around the same time as you grabbed one of your other bottles. And I was just like, I don't know what that is. I'll grab it. And it's fine. It's not spectacular. I am interested to see, like I said, they're building out their own facilities. They're going to be producing more of their own. It's going to be their own distillation versus a sourcing and blending with their own distillation. They're almost there. They finished their still in 2017. So if they're looking to release 3-year whiskey, it should be out. 4-year, 5-year, 6-year whiskey, almost at the time that this is going to start to be all theirs. They're probably at the point where they're releasing their own. It's probably all their own distillate. Do you do distillate or distillate?
Distillate.
Distillate. All right.
Overall, I mean,
it's fine.
Like you said, for the money,
$35 bucks. Not a problem.
It's one that you're like, I can enjoy it on its own, and you don't feel bad making a cocktail with it.
Right.
For the price.
For that price.
For the price. The proof's fine for a cocktail.
And the nice spice, the Manhattan would be pretty solid. So
I'm hoping to check it. We're hoping to make it to that Shenandoah Valley maybe this summer or the fall. It'd be nice to stop in and
Yeah.
check this
Check
place
it out.
out. We'll definitely get those 2 store picks on the show.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
an AB, and there's another one. A friend of ours has one. Maybe he'll let us borrow or get a handshake or 2.
Right. Do a little comparison.
Yeah, the 3 store picks.
The ABCs.
Yep. So
I like it.
more to come on that one. Thanks for joining this review of the Filibuster Boondoggler. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Love that name.
I was going to say, if all else fails, the name's awesome. Just having something called the Boondoggler on your bar is probably pretty solid.
Yeah. Good conversation starter.
Yeah.
Well, again, we hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, as always, we encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon, you get notified every time we put out an episode. Let us know if you've tried anything else from Filibuster. Love to see if they have anything else coming out or anything new that we should keep an eye out.
All right. Thanks for watching.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.